Okay, hello, we are live. All right, hello, beautiful people out there. Um, Hopefully, you have been watching the series, the transformation series. This platform is definitely dedicated to help us improve, get better, reach our perspective of success. We are very down to earth individuals, and this is important, especially as your host and creator of it. I really enjoy just showing you that we are real people, and I'd like to also have you to challenge us. Submit your comments. What are some of the topics that you'd like to cover and discuss? That would be great. Also, I'd like to invite you to visit our website. And please like and support, share, comment. That's so important and it is very much appreciated. Right now, we may not be giving away a lot like, the Oprah show and all that kind of good stuff, but it's coming, just bear with us. But at first, we have to build, and having you as a part of this platform would definitely help us to do that, and we are very appreciative of it. So, today's oh, and we thank you for watching the recording as well, right? So you can also do the same thing with the recording. You can like, you can share, you can comment there, and all of that good stuff. Also, you can inbox us if you do have any personal questions that you would like to have, help with or an answer to, and we would definitely do that. I know for myself, I'm pretty sure for Dr. Nisha Cherry, that if you if we couldn't help you, then we'll definitely refer you to someone who perhaps can. Okay, so Dr. Nisha Cherry, right? Okay, Naisha Cherry. I don't know why. I love your name. I just can't seem to. I get stuck on Cherry because, like I said, I love Cherry. So I just think I focus on that. So I just call you Dr. Cherry, okay? Because I always end up putting that Anisha on there, and I just really don't know why. But I love you, and I think that your name is beautiful, okay?
Thank you.
So once again, I feel like she's a co-host at this point, okay? And I hope you're feeling the same because we're definitely going to spruce up the show and bring some other people on that can also add to what we are trying to do. So, but I'm going to let Dr. Cherry introduce herself one more time real briefly, and then we'll jump into this transformation series segment. Take it away.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Naisha Cherry, your mind and body coach, yoga instructor, fitness instructor, and I sell swimwear from Cherry Bottom Swimwear. So I am here to help women to basically declutter their emotions and their mindset so they can focus on being healthier, happier, and lose weight if that's what they told forth want to do. So, I am so excited to be here again for our transformation series. As always, you can find me at www.nicecherry.com. You can DM me. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram at Dr. Naisha Cherry. I am here for your service. I'm here to help. I also have a Facebook group, All Things Health, Wellness, and Yoga. Feel free to come over, join us. Make sure you answer those 3 questions so that you can be admitted. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. It's hard to find people who want to, we always find people who will say, well, yeah, I want to do this and I want to do that. But when you start getting into that, somehow, I don't know if they turn chicken. I don't know if they really, maybe they didn't think about it. But I'm totally about doing what I say. I want my vision to be, and so I appreciate you making it happen. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you so much, because I believe we can help one another in that aspect as well. And so, jumping into the mindfulness segment here, I think I want to pull something from my notes real quick that'll help us kind of get even more involved in this particular subject. And I always got notes because I want to be mindful. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is, or we would like to discuss, is what mindfulness is not. I want to put that out there. Okay, so that's important to understand. What mindfulness is not. Mindfulness is not positive thinking. It's not a relaxation technique. It's not going into a trance. It's not trying to blank your mind. It's not a religion, although it kind of is derived in a way from religion, but it is not a religion, and it's not group therapy. Although it can be inclusive in group therapy process, but it is not that. All right, and add on to that, mindfulness. And we were talking about this a little earlier, but you can see yourself in this list that I'm about to run off. Okay, so I know I see myself in it. Okay, so if you see yourself as breaking things, spilling things, clumsiness, accidents because of carelessness, inattention, or thinking about something else, failing to notice subtle or not subtle feelings, that's very important, of physical discomfort, pain, tension, listening to someone while doing something else at the same time, totally guilty, getting so focused on goals that you lose touch with what you are doing right now, forgetting someone's name. Oh my goodness. Forgetting someone's name as soon as you hear it, guilty. Getting lost in your thoughts and feelings, guilty. Being preoccupied with the future or past, eating without being aware that you're eating and what it tastes like and all this kind of stuff, getting that texture and all that, just enjoying it. Having periods of where you have difficulty remembering the details of what happened. I'm guilty of that. Let's see, doing several things at once rather than focusing on one thing at a time. A lot of people do that, and it's like you're not getting anywhere. You're like spinning your wheels because you're not finishing anything, right? Guilty of that in the past. Reacting emotionally in certain ways, feeling that an emotion just came out of nowhere, because emotions, they don't just crop up out of nowhere. It's something that triggers them, and yeah. And then daydreaming or thinking of other things when doing chores, allowing yourself to forget, distractions. Now, if this is something that you can say, yeah, that's me, I can, connect with that. Know that you're only human. It happens. But the thing is that when we're not mindful of these things happening, that's when we end up making bad decisions. We end up not considering what we are saying at that time, and so it's just very good to be mindful at all times and make this a part of your daily life. Believe me, if you do it, you would, oh my goodness, you will make better business decisions. You will pick better love partners. You know what I mean? You will start getting your mind and your body in shape. Okay? And it'd be because you want to do it and not so much because others have, influenced you in that way of doing it. Because if you don't do it for yourself, then it's not going to last. It's not going to stay. And lastly, on my end, I would say that, well, for now anyway, is that mindfulness is something that you have to practice. It's something that you have to learn, right? So I learned about it doing getting my certifications and stuff like that, and I have applied it to my life, and I'm so happy that I have done that, right? So, Dr. Cherry, please, what have you to say about it?
So I am very guilty also of a lot of the things that you named. One thing that really stuck out to me when you talked about doing more than one thing at a time, or multitasking, as people call it. People look at multitasking as a good thing, but in reality, it's not that great because nothing is getting your full attention, which means everything is kind of getting half done. It's just getting done just to get done versus you're putting forth your best effort, and you're doing it more efficiently.
Mhm.
So multitasking, though you think you're doing a lot of things at once,
Mhm.
you may find that you're having to go back and do something, or that you didn't put forth the best effort and it wasn't done to the best that it could be, or you forgot something, or anything, or you don't remember how you did something if you try
Mhm.
to go back and redo it because you're doing so many things at once. And so
Mhm.
I know, especially us women, we really get bogged down with multitasking. I myself still am working on that. I try
Mhm.
not to multitask, but it does happen. And
Mhm.
so that's just something that really stood out to me because it's so popular and so common amongst people. And at the job, if you have a 9 to 5, they're kind of expecting you to multitask, which is not really good for the company.
Right.
And
Right. Right. And it is. It's. Let me put that down there. Okay. Now I can do. Okay. Yeah. You hit on something really important there, and that multitasking thing. Even though we've been kind of brainwashed to believe that we ought to be able to multitask, but the truth of it, it's not good to put that in a practice. Because you're not, like I said, you're not going to get anywhere. Really, you're not going to get to where you really want to be or finish anything the way that you could finish it if you actually focused
right,
on just doing that one thing at a time. Okay. And mindfulness is about paying attention on purpose,
yeah,
right? So you're going to be in the present moment.
hmm
um, okay, this is how it ends up kind of seeming like it's part of what's the word I'm looking for? It's part of meditation, perhaps, is because when we're having thoughts, we want to not be judgmental of those thoughts, right? Because we have to keep in mind that we're only human and we have thousands of thoughts coming in our mind all the time. And so um, we have the control, right, over our thoughts and what we choose to focus on. Now, granted, some things are a little harder to just say, okay, I'm not focusing on this, but your mind keeps putting it out there. And so when that happens, though, you can see it. You can sit because okay, here's the thing. Your mind, our mind, and who we are two separate things. But we're not taught that, right? We're not taught that we can actually look inside ourselves and see ourselves thinking and pay attention to those thoughts or not pay attention to those thoughts. We can choose to change the channel anytime, right? That's another part of being mindful of just being human. You can do it, but it takes practice. And there are some techniques. If you wanted to know what those techniques are, and you wanted to delve a little bit deeper into that, I can do that. I'm sure Dr. Cherry can do that and help you with that as well. But it does take time and it does take practice. So, um, let's see. Here is mindfulness at work. This is when you know that you are becoming more mindful as well. And that is when you recognize and you slow down or you stop automatic and habitual reactions. Now, this okay, when you're trying to not overeat or when you are trying to stop smoking, right? Because myself, I'm a smoker, and I'm not proud of it, but it's just a habit that I picked up a long time ago, and it has been a real challenge for me to let it go. But now that I have returned to mindfulness, I can see when I'm about to pick that cigarette up. I can see it now. I'm not just, oh, I want to. Now I know something triggered me to want to do that. So why did I want to do that? Now I need to be mindful of what's making me go there. and get to the root of the problem. It's just like with overeating.
I agree. Because with overeating, it's like, either you've been conditioned to do this because when you were younger, your parents were like, eat everything on your plate, don't leave anything on your plate. I know I was told that. People in
Hmm.
Africa that's hungry, and I was like, are you going to send them this food? Because if not, they'll doesn't matter if I eat it or not. But you were trained to clean your plate, not to waste food, don't be wasteful. So that was ingrained in me. And then I was an educator for 14 years. And so when you have to take children to lunch, line them up, make sure they get their tray, make sure they sit down, that leaves you with like 10 minutes to eat their food for your lunch, because that's your lunchtime too. And so I got used to like basically swallowing my food whole. It was like no chewing, no thinking about what I'm eating, just habitual stuff in my face and finishing everything. And so I had to get out of both of those habits, like you talking about this habitual, and really think about what am I eating? Using my senses to taste, to feel the texture of the food, to say, I actually don't like this, or I do like this, because you really don't know if you're swallowing your food whole, you know, chewing, giving my brain time to process that food is coming in my mouth and going down. Oh, I'm actually satiated now, and I have half my plate left. Wow, so
Hmm.
giving yourself time to eat. And then let's say you're going through something because you are not being mindful, you're looking ahead at something or dwelling on the past. Well, that can cause you to be more depressed or stressed or anxious. And in either of those cases, eating can be something that you use for comfort. But if you
Hmm.
recognize that, which I help my clients do, then you stop in your tracks and be like, why do I want to go out something to eat? Am I actually hungry right now? My stomach is not growling, my mouth is not watering. I'm not hungry. I just want to soothe myself because I
Hmm.
am feeling some kind of way. And you identify whatever that thought and feeling are and choose a different path. So that's really where mindfulness plays a role in what I do, because I help my clients to identify that so that they aren't overeating on a regular basis or emotional eating on a regular basis, because that leads
Hmm.
to extra calories and extra gaining of weight that you don't need.
Hmm. Yep. And that's something that that's part of what, well, that's a big part of what I try also to work with my clients too. So, I get my clients to realize what they really want, right? And some know right away, and others they don't. They're not sure, and then we kind of do this deep dive looking for all those things, not to focus on the things that they're I don't well, not to focus on their weakness, but to understand how you can be strong in your weakness, right? And so mindfulness helps you to do that, right? And the way that happens is, okay, I know that now you become aware. I know that I'm overeating. I know that I'm indulging in this particular habit too much. And then you're like, well, why am I indulging in this? And so now you may have to go in the past and do that deep dive and say, okay, this is the trigger. This is why I indulge in this like I do. And that's the only way that you're ever going to be able to go forward, is to visit. Sometimes we have to visit the past. The difference though is, like with the, I would say, like with the coach and art, and I almost said art therapist because that's what I do too. But the difference is with a therapist and a coach and a counselor, there are differences there, but they seem they are they seem sometimes the same, because we do go into your past in order to help you come together in your present so that you can create a better future, right? So I just wanted to put that out there, because a lot of times people think of coaching and therapy as the same thing. It's not. But sometimes we do make that connection in the process. Sometimes we do the techniques and stuff that we may use may seem to be. So, but that's important to understand about your mindfulness, And sometimes I'll say this too. Well, all the time. Don't be so hard on yourself. Because when you start putting certain things into practice, your mind is going to fight you. It is. And the interesting thing about that is that your mind believes that it's helping you. And that's why that's why it's so important to understand that your thoughts and you are two separate entities. Because then you are able to step in there and take a look, and say, okay, I know you want to think about this. I know how you're thinking about this, but we're going to change that thought and we're going to start doing it differently, right?
It's trying to protect you and keep you in your comfort zone is how it thinks it's protecting you. But in actuality, it's not protecting you.
Comfort zone.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing comes out of the comfort zone. No change, no nothing, pretty much.
Right. 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 And because that's your safe place.
Yes.
But the problem with your safe place is you're not going to grow.
Right.
And so last segment we talked about the fixed and the growth mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is how this coincides with that. Is because you got to understand that if you're so comfortable with where you are, but yet you want to move ahead and you still have some stagnation there, it's because you're not willing to let go. You have this fear, right? That, oh, I'm going to fail. Now all of a sudden we're talking about that locus of control type of thing, because now you're like, I did this before and I failed, so I'm just never going to be able to do it. Then you get those little voices in your head, and they're not even your voice. They're actually voices from somebody else, like your parent or somebody, that has told you things that just weren't true. But you have taken that, your mind has taken that in. And now this is how you show up in life. But if you want to change that, then you have to be willing to step out that comfort zone and take a chance, right? And when you're doing that, I believe that helped me is weighing my pros and cons, right? So if I do this, then can I take the results of my actions, right? Am I going to be able to live with that? And most of the time, yeah. Most of the time, yeah. And you can't be afraid of just stepping out there and I'm bugging out in the house. You can't be afraid to just step out there and take that chance that when the opportunity presents itself. And sometimes you'll find that when you have a state of mindfulness, you become more creative. You become much more creative in life, because now you're not being so distracted.
Right.
And you've decided to take control of your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you take control of your thoughts, you can take control of your decision making. Once you take control of your decision making, now you can take control of your actions. Because those actions is what's going to bring you those results. So your thinking, your emotions, how you act to that, and all of that has brought you to wherever you are in life today.
And that's action or inaction.
So, cause and effect, right? Fight or flight.
So we can't be afraid to fail because you can always fail forward, which means you can learn from whatever that situation was, and now you can improve upon it and make a new change. You've been through it; it no longer scares you. You now know how to go through it in a better way. So don't be afraid of failure. As a matter of fact, if you fail at something, it just means that you're making improvements, you're getting better.
And there you go. And that's what you want. You want improvement. That's what
Mm-hmm.
this transformation series thing that we're doing is all about. And I believe, I can speak for myself, but I would say that doing things like this even helps us, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because I was just going through something kind of traumatic for me, and I was like just depressed, and kind of like not me. And so, but we had talked about doing this particular series, so I said, man, I'm gonna have to, get back in this book and kind of like refresh myself on this thing. And honestly, while I was doing it, it helped me. It really just kind of calmed my mind down because I took control. I stopped being the victim, right? I stop allowing the enemy in me to take possession over me. And that's a beautiful thing because that's what you really want to do. And just to add on to that, here's some other my notes. It says mindful leadership, right? Authenticity through self-awareness, being true to beliefs, values, and principles. Let's see, more effective understanding and relating to others, reduces stress, anxiety, and conflict. So that is that's the gift once you begin to get into mindfulness, right? You end up improving all areas of your life, and I mean
Yeah.
all areas.
Yes, I agree. Oh, yeah. I just had a moment too this week. Like I screwed up my website. So because I was multitasking
Mm-hmm.
and I did something that I know I shouldn't have done after looking back at it because I was like, I've been avoiding this all this time of not linking this to my site because I knew it. If something wasn't right with that. Well, I did it. And so
Uh-huh.
my website is not exactly acting right. It's not going to where it normally goes, but it is what it is. It's going to be repaired next week. So just know
Mm-hmm.
if you go to nightsecurity.com, you're going to go to a different website, my Google site, which is not representative of everything that I offer. But you can always contact me and ask me questions. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that, like we was talking about earlier too, on that, man, it's like, man, Google and they all change the algorithms and stuff like that, and so you could be successful 1 minute doing this, and then the next minute it has dropped, and you're like, what the heck happened? So yeah. Yeah, so you really got to stay on top of things if you are, in business and stuff. You really have to. I hate that Facebook changed. Uh, it's really been a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
You know, but once again, coming to the mindfulness thing, this is life. That's technology, and we have to be flexible
Mm-hmm.
and be able to move around, get in where we fit in. Sometimes, it is what it is.
Yep. Because your results or your goals can stay the same, but how you get there is what changes. And so
Mhm.
mindfulness, you can figure out, oh, okay, I need to change this instead of that, or I need to do this instead of that. Because when you're in the moment, you're in the moment, the present moment. You're not thinking about the future, you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about any of those things. You're in the moment, using all of your senses that are possible to be used at that time.
Mhm.
So, if it's something that doesn't require tasting, then you're not going to taste it. But you can feel, you can hear, you can see, using your senses and thinking about what you're doing. So not focusing on what's to come or what the
Mhm.
result's gonna be.
Mhm. Mhm. And that's so important. I find also that when I take time out to really focus on what I'm doing, even driving, I begin to smell certain things, I begin to feel the texture of certain things. Some things are smooth, some things are rough, and then some things might be poking me, and I'm thinking, oh, this is the thing that's been poking me, but my mind was just somewhere else, and I couldn't, I just didn't have time to figure that out. But, it made me kind of come back and realize, hey, this is the moment, seize it. It's all good, right? Like you figure some stuff out. What's the pain in your butt? What is that? So, before we go, I'd like to talk about, share with you some tips for developing mindfulness, right? And like I said, we may have to get some help sometimes to really make this happen for us. And read books. People, read. You know, I have to just put that out there. Man, it's so many people that wouldn't feel like a victim or would have a be grip on their life if they would just read, and not just read anything, but be intentional. What's your purpose of reading this particular thing, article, book, whatever,
And finish up with it.
Ugh. And they said, if you want to keep it a secret, put it in a book. Put it in a book. This is a whole cultural, ethnic group of people that just ain't gonna read it anyway, and that's sad. And then a lot of times, real quick, I was talking with someone, and I was sharing with them some things, getting it out of me that they had done that I wanted to just empty that out of me, right? And anyway, I was showing up, taking my blame, or how I showed up in the relationship in that way, and they come back with, what do you say? Everybody can't be as aware as you, in a nasty way, right? So, so I had to revert back to my mindfulness and understand that the pros of working on yourself is that you're doing it for yourself so that you can show up as a better person for yourself, for your family, have a better, successful business and all of that. The downfall to that is you're going to find people that are not going to appreciate you changing, right? They're not even going to appreciate the fact that you want to be a better person for them as well in building your relationship with them, so just be mindful of that. You're going to find even in your family that's not going to appreciate you becoming more aware. It is what it is, but that's okay, right?
Love them from a distance.
There you go. You got to do that. And one day we'll talk more about that too, because that's important. That's part of reaching your perspective of success. Yes. So, real quick, we're talking about tips for developing mindfulness. Here they are. Be consciously present. What's going on around you? Okay. Work at a single task at a time. Slow down to speed up. Okay. Meaning slow down so you can recognize what you need to do and get through it and be done with that and move forward. Recognize the importance of stress, because stress is important. Now, we could do a topic on that too. There's good stress, there's bad stress. Okay. Respond wisely and appropriate rather than adding to the difficulty, right? As you perceive it through habitual reactions. So sometimes we can blow things out of perspective, make things worse than what they really are, and that has to do with the triggers. And that's why it's important to identify your triggers. What is your trigger? We all have them. It's normal, it's natural, right? All right. And then show gratitude and appreciation. That's very important to do that, right? If you wake up in the morning, I figure that the first thing I'm thankful for is the two gifts of opening my eyes, right? And being thankful for your sensories, things that your touch, you're able to taste, whatever it is that you're able to do, be thankful for that, and be thankful for people, that come into your life, whether they be good, bad, or indifferent, and that's another topic too. Anyway, develop humility, accept your limitations, appreciate others, rediscover a sense of wonder. Okay?
And can I
So,
add something to your list?
yes.
Focus on your breathing. So whether you're meditating or you're doing different things or you're just taking a break, focus on your breathing and like take deep inhales and deep exhales because we as a people are guilty of shallow breathing. Also, breathe into areas of tension. So if you're feeling like you're feeling tight or tense somewhere, send your breath to those areas. So really focus on your breathing, and that will help you to slow down, which is what Miss Katie Flowers just told us to slow down. So
Yes.
focus on that breathing, whether you do it with meditation or just breathing exercises. Either one will work. And I don't know about you, but I have the Apple Watch, and every hour it's like breathe. So that's a good way to get it in as well if you forget
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. That's good. I had thought about that too. The breathing is very important,
Mm-hmm.
and how to breathe, because a lot of us don't know how to breathe. We breathe from the chest. That's not how you breathe, right? It's
Right.
breathing, is it right? And I'm not into the yoga part, okay,
Yeah,
but
feel your stomach as it expands and then feel it contract.
yeah,
I want to get big by breathing into it. Breathe into it.
just breathe, doggone
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Breathe. That's important because you got to have that oxygen to get to your brain
Yes,
anyway.
yes,
You know, so yeah, that's important to learn how to breathe correctly. So accept what you can't change.
yes.
Now we're not talking about if you have attitudinal issues, and you constantly getting fired from jobs, and you don't have
You can change
friends,
that.
huh?
You can change that. That's something you can change if that's the case.
Right. Those
Mm-hmm.
are things you can work on if you are willing and open to acknowledge that this is the issue that you're having. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can work on that. But certain things, you probably can't change. I don't know, your nose. You can of course have surgery on that. But who wants to really go through all of that, right? That's just part of who you are. Embrace it. Love it. I
Yes.
can't think of that chick's name. What's it? She's Barbara Streisand. She
Mm.
kept that nose forever. You know what I mean? And it wasn't that she couldn't change it. It's just that that's just who you are. It's part of your makeup, right? But then there are other things too. All jokes aside, there are other things that it's just part of who we are. It's part of our makeup. But it's important to understand if that is affecting your relationships, and those things are not pushing you forward and being assistance to the world in a positive way, those things you just have to be aware of and kind of tweak it, change it, so that you can move and flow better, right?
Right. And we have to
All
realize
right.
the only thing we can change are those things basically within us. We can't change other people, but we can just change our relationship with them or how close
There you
we
go.
are with them. So don't think that when we talk about change, it's like, oh, I can change this. I'm tired. No. You can't. You can change you and your acceptance, or if you're letting go of certain things, your
Yeah.
thoughts about things, how you feel about things, your response to things, but you can't change the other person.
There you go. And that's so key too. That's so true. We cannot change other people. We cannot. It's no. You think you can change a player into being a good man, or whatever you want to call it. No. You can't change nobody from being gay if they're gay. That's who they are. You can't change people from being mean if that's who they are and that's who they want to be. But you can change you, right? And how you act with those people and situations, that you can, and that's important. And if the world did more working on self, this would be a much sweeter world. Wait, you made me want to do that Namaste. Work on yourself. So it's important too to accept your mistakes and those of others, because you got to understand also that people are flawed. We are all flawed. We all make mistakes. Um, but you have to get to a mindset that, hey, if this person is not willing to work in the relationship to build it with me and to improve it, then maybe I may need to just walk. Sometimes that's the best thing to do. It's better than, going to jail or being 6 feet under or putting somebody else there. You know what I mean? Because as we know, that's part of the world, that's the reality of the world that we live in. These things do happen. But I think if people were to work more on themselves and understanding that, okay, I have flaws, this person has flaws, maybe we have to live at a distance, love at a distance, and all that good stuff. But first, it starts with you. It starts with us.
Yeah.
So you got something else to say?
I guess I know that practicing mindfulness, like you said, takes practice and it takes work, and we're still working on it ourselves. So I would just ask you that, take your time and whatever you're doing, focus on your breathing, focus on the task, do one thing at a time versus the multiple things. So multitasking, work on cutting that out. Also, work on focusing on your senses as you're working on a task. How does it feel? How does it smell? Well, what do I smell? What do I see? What do I taste? Type of thing. When you're eating, make sure you feel a hunger signal when you eat. Are you just stomach growling?
Hmm.
Mouth watering? Like, are you really truly hungry? Or are you just eating because it's quote unquote time to eat? Or because you're feeling depressed or emotional? And emotions, you can be happy you want to eat. You can be sad and want to eat. You can be mad and want to eat. Any emotion can cause you to emotionally eat. So be mindful of that and only eat when you're actually hungry. If you're not really hungry, don't eat.
Hmm.
You can be mindful when you are out in nature. What do you smell? What do you see? What are you feeling? How does your feet feel when they hit the pavement when you're walking? Like,
Hmm.
be mindful. And
Hmm.
then whenever you decide to focus on your breathing and or meditate, you can do a
Hmm.
body scan and like actually, scan your body and see how it feels in different places and how you actually
Hmm.
feel as a person at that moment in time. So
Very good. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta. Those are very important things to remember when you are practicing mindfulness.
mhm.
You know, there. It's really simple, but what's difficult sometimes is the familiarity and wanting to remain in that place where you are, but you want to move forward because somehow staying this particular mindset is not doing anything for you,
Right.
right? So then it's time to move on. And real quick, I wanted to say thank you again about sharing your health plan with me earlier.
Oh, sure.
Um, that yeah, yeah. So I've been drinking lots of water, right? So yeah. So everywhere I go, like a little puppy, I'm tinkling. It's like I'm leaving it there with you. So it's like, uh, and then also the increase of working out is definitely helped me out a lot, especially even with my thinking.
Mhm.
I'm feeling a lot better. It's not that I wasn't working out, but I wasn't working out as much as I should. So and could, you know. So that also helps too with your mindfulness. It helps to clear your mind and all that good stuff. So get in touch with Dr. Cherry if you want to, get that physique and your mind together. And get in touch with me if you want to get your mind together and reach your perspective of success as well. We're here for you, and we want to help, because the more that we
Yeah.
help you, the more we help ourselves, you
Exactly.
know. Yeah. So would you like to leave with saying anything?
Um, Join my group. All things take abundance in yoga. If you want to be focused on health with your mindset and your body, the connection, the whole package, join us. Answer the three entry questions, and you will be admitted. We're in our summer weight loss challenge this month. So that's what Miss Kelly Flowers was talking about. We have a plan that we're following for the month of July. Join us if you want to lose a couple pounds. Bring it up. Yes, we would love to have you. And if you need a break, if you need some kind of relaxation, some self love, learn how to let things go, some body confidence, and you are a woman, I'm having a self love, relax, and rejuvenate retreat in August, August 12th through August 15th. You need to join us. We'll be in Pensacola, Florida, soaking up the sun as we learn to love ourselves more, enjoying the sights there, having a personal shelf. So guess what? You don't gotta prep. Okay, so personal shelf, and if you need to eat out at those restaurants, you will be covered. You don't have to bring out any extra money. So, look,
Nice.
I got you. Come
Nice.
join us. It's not
Nice.
too late.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not too late. Come join us.
Nice.
And if you just want, some accountability, if you want some coaching, if you want some yoga, if you want some swimwear, I got you in that aspect too. So come see your sister.
Nice, nice. And to have, you know what, to have that, you want support. I don't care what nobody say, support is important. And one of the things that I really, I'm into is supporting, right? And supporting us, supporting women is very important because I'm a woman, if you couldn't tell, but and
Right. Yes.
because some people have blurred sight. I don't know, and I just enjoy doing that, and that's why I became a coach. I'm also a visual practicing artist as well, professional, who deals with art therapy and all of that. I will be starting to do that on another channel. It's working with the art therapy and combining that with my coaching as well. And we talked about books, didn't we? Did you share your book too?
Which book are you referring to?
Any book?
That I'm
Did you?
reading
Did
right.
you? I thought. Did you do a book also?
I didn't share a book today. I just actually ordered a book about cryptocurrency. So make
Okay.
sure you read that.
Okay.
And I finished the last book I was reading. Let me see if I have it here. Oh, and I'm also reading this. I am reading too another book. I took a pause. The Spiritual Laws of Success. I am reading
I've
this.
read that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
reading this. Oh, just dropped it.
Awesome.
I
Read.
finished this one, Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. This is
Awesome.
awesome. So yes.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Those are good books. I know the first one I read some years ago, and that got me kind of on my spiritual journey as well.
I
Yeah.
actually I
Yeah.
actually finished this book. That's what I'm still reading. I was going back to some notes. I'm actually finished this book. So
It's a good
yeah.
book. It's a good read. It's actually something that I could probably read again as well because I read it many years ago.
I was
What's
taking
it?
notes.
Oh, I got something
These
on
are
here.
notes I was taking. That's why I thought I was like, I was like, wait a minute, I did finish it because I had put this in there.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah.
And they help. That's why I said reading is so fundamental. It's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yes. And speaking of books, I have online. I have How to Reach Your Perspective of Success. I've been trying to push that out there.
Oh, I
It,
get to
it,
read
it
that.
it's my first one. So I'm working on another one. But right now, you can get it for free when you join my or visit my website, and you can get it for free right now. But I'm also selling it on another site, so I'm gonna have to hurry up and get that down because they're gonna be like, how are you gonna be giving away free and you selling it at the same time? It's like it's my book. I do what I want to do with it. So,
Hilarious. Oh my God.
so, so anyway, thanks, you guys, for showing up and watching and staying with us. Thank you for watching the recording. That's great. And I will be going to the dentist this month and they're going to be doing some work on my grill. So I don't know but I'll let you know ahead of time if we're going to make a recording before I go in, or if we're going to be able to do it live. And I got some stuff in there because I can't, I'm kind of vain. I can't be coming out here with no teeth. I got to get some teeth in my mouth. That's just me.
Hilarious. Oh my God.
So, all right. I think that's it. We will. You stay on here, Dr. Sherry, and this. I do not have the rights to this song, but I always like to
Let it go.
let it go, let it go. Okay, but practice on yourself. Work on
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
and believe me, you'll be happy that you did. And visit us again and all that good stuff. If you got comments, if you have issues, you got worries and all of that, get in touch with us. Leave us something. Comment, and please like, share us, and thank you for your support.
And if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay.
Put hashtag, thank you. You heard that. Put hashtag replay.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, I guess that's it. Until next time, everybody enjoy your weekend and all that good stuff. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.